And now for this evening's grand finale, the Charles B. Harding Award for Distinguished Service. It's a moment we've all been waiting for tonight. And to get that underway, I'm going to turn the reins over to last year's Harding Award recipient, Mr. Daniel T. McGowan. Dan?
I guess I'm going to need my glasses after all. But while I'm getting them, two things, I'm not with you guys quite as frequently as I used to be, but two things occur to me as I'm sitting in these meetings, which I've been to many, many times. And one is just how good it is to be with other really good people. And listening to the stories tonight, seeing all of you, you're just good people, so that's great. Second thing is how important research and advocacy are to changing the world, changing people's lives. So thank you for what you do for that. And thank you, Pete. We don't feel slighted at all. You were fantastic tonight. We will be forever grateful, and maybe we'll see you back, I hope. I was very honored and grateful to receive the Harding Award a year ago. And tonight, I'm thrilled to pass that honor along to another passionate Arthritis Foundation volunteer. The Charles B. Harding Award for Distinguished Service was established in 1976 as a tribute to one of our best and brightest volunteer leaders. Each year, we honor the person who exemplifies the highest standards of care and commitment in the fight against arthritis. Recipients of this award inspire each of us to keep striving to live our best life as a champion of yes, through advocacy, science, and engaging our community of family and friends, healthcare professionals, and many others. Today, as we activate the new Live Yes Arthritis Network, we're expanding our horizons and growing our community exponentially. It is a great time to belong to this community and to be part of this great organization. We're very honored that several past Harding Award recipients could join us this evening, and it's my pleasure to ask many of them to join me on the podium tonight. So please come up as I call your name. First, our 1988 Harding Award recipient, Stan Rubin. 1989 recipient, Kitty Farrell. Our 2002 recipient, Deborah Lappin. The 2003 Harding recipient was Bill Mulvihill. The 2005 Harding Award recipient, Lee Callahan. Our 2007 recipient, John Colson. 2010 Harding Award recipient, Jim Louie. Dr. Louie. 2011 recipient, Pam Massey, who looks fabulous. 2013 Harding Award recipient, Seal Parrish. 2014 fellow recipient, Bing Cheng. 2015 Harding Award recipient, Jana Lee Taylor. And our 2016 recipient, Colleen Ryan. I'm very proud to be standing here this evening with this group. As you can tell, this is quite a group. I'm also saddened to report that one of our alumni passed away yesterday. Tom Murphy, who received the Harding Award in 2008. And please join me for a moment of silence as we remember Tom and his fine work for the foundation. I was hoping that the picture that I'm looking at down here would be something you were seeing too, because you'll all remember him referring to his wife for so many years as her loveliness. And they won this award together, and what a contribution they made. We send our condolences to Tom's family, and we thank all of them and remember him for his work. And I thank all of you for being with us this evening. I will excuse you. You know, I had to practice not saying he or she, but always saying them together because, as you know, that's our tradition. This year's recipient of the Harding Award for Distinguished Service is among the Arthritis Foundation's most outstanding volunteers. She, or he, demonstrates exceptional qualities that fuel the Arthritis Foundation's mission. When I think of this person, two words always come to mind. The first is commitment, and the second is enthusiasm. And many of you will know who I'm talking about when I say that. This volunteer is always all in. He or she has gone above and beyond to show how much we can accomplish and who challenges each of us to always find ways to meet that challenge and to give more, to do more, to be more for the foundation. Now I'm going to start being a little more specific. He or she has been part of the Arthritis Foundation family for nearly 2 decades and has offered support to countless individuals and families throughout the years. This special honoree, he or she, has walked the walk and talked the talk. All in, always all in. This volunteer sets the stage for where we are today. He's an innovative thinker. She's an innovative thinker who's extremely energetic, who is focused, innovative, and strategic. Thank you. More than anything else, in describing him or her, what keeps coming up is the voice of reason, calming, I don't know always, not always calming, but largely calming, a joy for life, very noticeable, and someone who says, first and foremost, think of our mission. I'll stop there and reveal this year's honoree through our normal video. I guess you know who it is. You know, like many of you, I've seen so many emails and followed so closely his son Daniel's life that I felt like I knew him before I met him at this meeting. And I told him, he's very noticeable that he still has hair. And I told him to tease his father and make sure that his father understands that that's how he used to look. Before he joins me on stage, I want to tell you a little bit more about this evening's honoree, who now you know is the one and only Michael V. Ortman. It's almost beyond words to describe how committed Michael is to this cause and to the Arthritis Foundation. He's unabashed in his support, his generous money, time, you name it. Michael actually almost embarrasses me. I felt like I was a pretty active volunteer, but being with Michael just embarrasses you and makes you want to do more. He's naturally born with compassion, great sense of humor. His passion was and is sports. Everything from hockey to baseball, golf to wrestling. He had a lot of great professional achievements before ultimately landing at Comcast for the past 20 years. He talked me into using Comcast, and now I just bemoan the fact that I can't get it any longer. When you meet Michael, you feel like you've known him forever. And that's seriously. Some of you probably met him for the first time at this meeting, and it's like you knew him a long time ago. He lives with a smile on his face. I've never seen a guy more committed to the organization, to his family, to his wife. Even though there have been tough periods and his son Daniel struggled with his JA, often immobilized, through it all, Michael wanted to fix things. So he got involved with the association, the foundation, and we are very lucky for that. Michael chaired the Arthritis Foundation's board of directors for 2 years. Ann Palmer praises Michael's leadership, saying he helped move our organization forward like no one else could have at the time. Perhaps his greatest contribution to the cause of the Arthritis Foundation was his role in making us one single organization. To sustain the foundation and to serve the best financial needs of our people, and to put our resources where we knew we had to put them. He was also instrumental in unifying and amplifying the JA community, re-energizing our relationship with Kara, and galvanizing the community. He thinks outside the box. He's an extraordinary leader. He's a gifted collaborator and a unifier. I can remember Michael when I was chair and he was vice chair. He was in a wheelchair and came from here to New York to meet with me at the Comcast offices. One of his daughters accompanied him, and he was leading the way. He's absolutely devoted husband of Kate Ortman and the father of 6 children. You saw them in the picture, 3 of them joining the family through adoption. And he and Kate now have 6 grandchildren. Though dedicated to his career and to charity, Michael puts family first. And next, he puts others first. He stretches himself and also pushes others to do the same thing. In summary, he represents the true heart of the association, the foundation. He's the real deal. His outlook on life, his ability to turn negatives into positives, and to get people of the same ilk to join him and to be on the same page. Those are such admirable qualities. And he's very constant. He's a very consistent guy. He sets the bar higher. He's such a rare individual that we're fortunate and proud to welcome Michael to the roster of other Harding Award recipients. I also want to mention that Comcast has always been very supportive of Michael's volunteer work with the Arthritis Foundation, as well as supportive of his family needs. I remember going to the NBC building that time, and we met with whoever Michael wanted us to meet with. To pass along their kudos, Michael, we want to share a special message from the head honcho of Comcast Cable, CEO Dave Watson.
It's an honor to congratulate Mike on receiving the highest honor the Arthritis Foundation gives for service by a volunteer. The award goes to people who unselfishly devote their time to help others, and I can't imagine anyone more deserving. Mike, we couldn't be more proud of the contributions you've made to this important organization. You and your family know firsthand what living with arthritis is like. Your family and your son Daniel have gone through a lot, and you've beaten the toughest obstacles as they came your way. At Comcast, we put family first, and you have been an inspiration to all of us. We are proud of that, and we're so proud of you, for your leadership, for setting a great example for all you do for people with arthritis, and for being an exemplary humanitarian who truly cares about others. Congratulations, Mike.
Michael, will you please join me on stage?
I guess I have to thank a few people. Thank all of you. If you'll bear with me, I know it's late, but I got a couple of thank yous I gotta do, and then there's a story that's been swirling around in my head this year that I think is appropriate to share tonight. First and foremost, it's been said a lot that we have this new Arthritis Foundation. I want to tell you that began 5 years ago when Dan McGowan took leadership of guiding us into a future full of change. And he had the wisdom, and I was looking at that list up on the wall, to pick an awful lot of those people to be honored to serve on a committee that worked as a volunteer-led initiative all that summer. Picking people like Seal Parrish to chair that committee and people like Janet Lee Taylor to serve on it. I was honored to be on it with Dr. Bing Chang, Deborah Lappin, all names you just saw up there. And that group of volunteers came together that summer, made a recommendation to the board, and they voted unanimously to make Ann Palmer the president and chief executive officer of this organization. Ann, thank you for being a great staff partner in my time. Ann was one of my arthritis wives. The real wife, a lot was said earlier tonight about those people that sacrifice so much to let the rest of us do our thing with the Arthritis Foundation. And Kate, for 35 years, 2 weeks from now, it'll be 35 years of marriage. More than half of it we've spent with the Arthritis Foundation. But when Daniel was younger and needed someone to lead the care, you did, in spite of the fact that you were homeschooling all 6 of our kids. And you were such an inspiration to so many people you didn't know, because they got to know you because I was able to tell them what an amazing wife you were and what an amazing mother you were and what an amazing caregiver you were with Daniel. So Kate, thank you for everything you've done the last 18 years. And one more, Dan. You know, when we named Dan's Fans after you, what, 10, 12 years ago when we started in the Jingle Bell Run, you weren't terribly happy about it because you just were a teenager that didn't want that, right? But here we are. You have not only inspired me and Mom in the way you've conducted yourself through all the pain and all the struggles, and brain surgery had nothing to do with arthritis. And all the biologics you've succeeded with and then struggled past and moved on to the next one, and all the different therapies you've tried, you have inspired not only me and Mom, but people you don't even know and people all over this room. Daniel, thank you. So some of you know I went to Notre Dame, and thank you, yes. And one of our football coaches there was Lou Holtz, and he won a national championship 30 years ago. Maybe we're going to do it again this year. What do you think, Dennis? Yeah. And Lou Holtz is retired now from broadcasting at ESPN, but he tells a story in one of his stump speeches he makes as a motivational speaker, graduation speaker, about the 4 things you need in life to have a whole life. And I've listened to that many times. And he says that you need 4 things. You need to have something to do. You need to have something to believe in. You need to have something to hope for. And you need to have someone to love. And when I hear him say that, I think of the Arthritis Foundation, because in some way, shape, or form, that fills one, more, or all of those voids in each of our lives. Does it give us something to do? You bet. And if you need something to do and you don't have something to do, just ask the nearest staff member near you. Ann Palmer would be happy to help you out. You'd have something to believe in. I hope each of us believe deeply and passionately in the mission of the Arthritis Foundation, to help and support people in need, to advocate for access to care for those who can't advocate for themselves, to invest in scientific discovery to change the world, and to wrap our arms in a special way around those JA families. Something to hope for? You bet. We hope for a cure for each and every form of arthritis and rheumatic disease that's under our big umbrella. And someone to love. Someone talked earlier tonight about the love of the Arthritis Foundation family, and it is very real. As many of you know, we lost our youngest daughter, Teresa, suddenly back in January. And it's at times like that your family and friends rally around you. The Ortman family, the DeMarco family, the Comcast family, and yes, the Arthritis Foundation family. And we were overwhelmed with the volume of letters and cards and meals and donations. But I have to tell you, the very first card came from Dennis Ealing on the board of the Arthritis Foundation. And when our daughter-in-law Holly set up a meal train online, the very first person to jump on the meal train was Kate Kuhns and her daughter Delaney in Roanoke, Virginia, J family. And on Sunday afternoon, we had a viewing for Teresa, and it started late. And when the curtain opened, the very first people Kate and I saw were Steve and Liz Smith, the same couple that welcomed us into the Arthritis Foundation family 18 years ago. And the next day, we get to the church early, figuring we'll beat the crowd. First one in the church was Ann Palmer. That's the love of a family. So before we give Coach Holtz too much credit for being the brilliant philosopher, let's be real clear, he borrowed that from the New Testament, and we've all heard it before. In the end, there are three things that will last: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. Thank you for 18 years of love, and thank you for this wonderful award. Appreciate it. Thank you.
It was very nice, very lucky to have this happen here because his family's so close by. So will Michael's family please join us?
Okay, I'll put you back there. I missed one somewhere. I did miss one.
All right, well, I'll make this quick, I promise, but when the older ones here were younger, we got looked at in the grocery store in a lot of different ways. Sit down, please. I'm just going to take, there's a few people up here. I'm going to tell you who they are. The older ones will remember that when we were in the grocery store, we get a lot of interesting comments. People would say the rudest things and the strangest things, like, do you own a daycare center? Are they all yours? And Daniel might be in his wheelchair, and then they would walk up and say, what's wrong with him? And we had a rule. If you asked about one, you had to hear about all. And it quieted them down. But so let me see if I can do this quickly, how best to do this. Let's try mine, hers, and ours, and theirs. And it's pretty easy to keep track. I'm one of 6 children. Let me start with mine. I'm one of 6 children. 2 have already gone on to heaven, and 2 are in poor health and could not be here, I'm sure. But my sister Madeline, who is also my godmother, Madeline Ortman, came down from Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you for being here. Kate, who you heard about earlier, she's also one of 6. By the way, of the 6 DeMarco kids and their 6 spouses, of those 12 people, 7 went to Notre Dame. My brother-in-law, Ed, and his beautiful wife, Garland. So welcome there from Silver Spring, Maryland. So now on to ours. The oldest, where is he?
Right here.
Brad, there you are. On Veterans Day weekend, I think it's appropriate to welcome Army Major Brad Ortman. Thank you. I'm guessing his amazing wife, who is a nurse, is working, I'm sure. Where's Mommy, girls?
I think she's sleeping.
You think she's sleeping? Yes. Don't we all wish? And their beautiful daughters, Charlotte and Ellie. Number 2, Patrick Ortman. Patrick is, and his beautiful wife, Kate, Lieutenant Commander Kate Ortman. Let's honor you on Veterans Day weekend, too. Patrick's a financial planner who has got the most impressive incentives. See, he manages our money, and if he screws it up, he's got to take care of us when we're old. That'll motivate you to take care of Dad's money. And they have 4 wonderful sons. One is hiding back there. Johnny is 8, and I'm guessing, Johnny, your brother's home sleeping? Yeah, that's a good idea. Johnny, thank you for coming and staying up so late. Number 3, Daniel. I think we've said enough about Daniel already tonight. And number 4 is Greg over here. Now, Greg. Greg, people in this room are all about easing people's pain. Greg is about inflicting pain. He's a personal trainer. And he's working on finishing up his degree in health science. So, Greg, good to see you. And his beautiful fiancée, Jessica Lewis, is a research coordinator right here in Baltimore at Johns Hopkins. So we've got the little, there you go, see? And continuing, and Mary, it is a shock to see you here tonight. She just moved to Florida a month ago. So good to see you back. And safe travels, love. Great to see you. Did I cover everybody? Yep. Wow. Except Teresa. Thanks for everything, sweetheart. We've done the Dance Fans is this year a special edition. Daniel has decided to devote this year's Jingle Bell Run to his sister in her memory. I'm wearing Jingle Bell Run socks, Steve. But Dan's Fans T-Baby edition has a wonderful story on it. And Daniel, I said earlier that you've inspired people you don't even know. This week, Dan's Fans got a donation from someone. They got their thank you note, and they wrote right back, and they said, I needed some inspiration this week. And so I wanted to go read Daniel's story again. And they went on Dan's Fans page, and there it was, and a beautiful tribute not only to the journey you've traveled, Daniel, but also to your sister, Teresa. So enough of this. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
One more. All right. I'll get up. Where's Kate? I'll be in the back.
Well, congratulations, Michael, as you move off the stage. I don't really know what to say to Mike since we've heard so much, but as we were waiting to come in tonight and we were talking about this time a year ago and what he wanted, he said to me, Ann, hurry up. And I think for me, that just sums up Mike. You know, every time I'm with him, he just tells me to hurry up. And he's certainly been a great partner. Well, I want to congratulate Michael again and to acknowledge all of our esteemed Harding Award recipients who are here tonight. You know, you're a great inspiration to us, and your passion for the Arthritis Foundation work really is so inspiring to all of us. So thank you to each of our Harding Award winners who are here tonight. And thank you, Dan, for all the work that you've done tonight in getting us going. So I also want to congratulate all of our award recipients. It's been a great evening, maybe a little bit long, but certainly very inspirational. For me, certainly very inspirational. And you know, you all are among the best of the best, and we really appreciate the great evening that we've had and you sharing your stories with us and the opportunity to honor each of you. I'd like to again express my gratitude to Lily for sponsoring our evening tonight, and also to all of our other partners and those that help make this conference possible. Especially to our entertainment. We had some great entertainment tonight, and I want to thank everyone for that. Really, we went from piano to all over the place, so it was a great evening. And again, thanks to Pete. Really appreciate you being here with us tonight, and you had a long haul and you did a great job. So in closing, I have a few quick housekeeping announcements. You know, always have to have this at the end, right? So we're going to take some more photographs outside of our honorees right out front here. These will include our Harding Award winners, so please make yourself available for that. And then we're going to invite everyone to come downstairs to the Apropos, and that's the bar downstairs in the lobby, and we're willing to treat everyone to a drink and to continue our frivolity and celebration, remembering that we're back tomorrow morning at 8:30. So I look forward to seeing you in the morning, and thanks for a great evening. Good night.